Good evening, Free Enterprise fans, and welcome to another race of our Potion Party preview. We have four fantastic runners tonight: Firebird Lover, ENinja81, Hush Pyramid, and Judge Joe. My name is Engie Dave. I am joined by our restreamer, Esgrunt, our tracker Dubword, and my co-commentator, Vitasia. How are you doing, Vitasia?
I'm just excited for another preview. Last week we tested some Potion Party, previews, and now we made a couple of adjustments to it. Now, based on feedback from the community, this is a set of flags that we are testing for an upcoming community tournament. Let's talk about some of these adjustments that we made between last week and this week.
All right, so the first thing is Fusoya, rather than just being a potential hero, is outright banned.
Yeah, we heard everyone, and early Fu just it completely changed the dynamic of the game. So no more Fu. The other things that happened is Tella is no longer able to be a starting character. Simply, that hero mode into ordeals before you get Tella any sort of magic. Depending on what the boss ended up being, could really prove to be difficult, almost blocking. So Tella is banned from being the starting character. He can still appear in the regular pool. He's just not going to be our hero. And then finally, we have the better kit in addition to the other kits that we got, just to give us a little bit of healing oomph to get started.
Right, and that can be very beneficial, especially if the seed decides, you know what, White Mage is overrated. You're not getting one.
Look, there have been plenty of seeds that I've played where I'm like, who needs a White Mage? Like, only for big bangs. Otherwise, I'll roll through this. But, really excited to see how our runners do tonight. We do have a Yang start right out of the gate. So he's an interesting character to have start. We also have Kate Bahamut, Masamune Altar Forge, and then we have Defeat the Baron Basement Throne. Looks like we also have Ribbon Room and Return the Pan. So 3 objectives that are locked up there on the moon. It's a complete 6, so the moon is absolutely required tonight.
Right now, remember, Cave Value, the Masa Altar, and the Fame Arch are all static objectives. So we're going to need these every Potion Party seed.
Absolutely. So you add that Ribbon Room in with it, and that just makes it hard required at this point for that. But there's still lots of other objectives that we have to complete at this point. The King and Queen, of course, are static and ends up being pretty popular depending on what the bosses are there. We can forge, we can return the pan, or we can defeat the Baron Castle Basement Throne. All of those just requiring, well, the pan and the Baron Throne are just 1 extra key item. Forge is 2. Oh, and we have a pair of beefy boys to start.
And a Tower Key, a nice starting key item for us.
Yep, that Tower Key is going to heavily incentivize doing lower Tower of Babel, not only because it's 2 key item checks normally, but with the trap chests, it's also 4 additional checks. So 6 total checks there, and you can full clear it out.
I assume we're going to see our runners going off to find various, get some money, because you don't get loot, or you don't get your gear from chests. You get it from shops, but you still need money to buy that.
Money, 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 money. I don't know, Dave. Walk me through what is your route and your experiment been with this early game? It's been really interesting seeing people practice and trying to figure out what the best decision tree is in terms of getting money.
What I found is I like doing what Judge Joe's doing here, checking Baron in, see the character, just get an idea of who is in my distinct 7 pool. And then I just like looting out Evelyn. Evelyn Castle, you'll usually get about in the neighborhood of $250,000 from it. That's enough to get you rolling through a seed. You've run a few of these as well, I know.
Yeah, the other night I actually on my stream I tried to figure out the most efficient. I was timing I rolled 5 different seeds and I checked 5 different openings and then timed them all eventually getting a gold per second efficiency. And what I ended up finding, and here's my hints, is, I mean, there's a lot of wide variation. So there's randomization when it comes into, but when it really comes down to it, the two most efficient openings are going to be clearing out Barren Village, just clearing out all the trapped chests and locations in Barren, and then doing the Watery Pass. If you do those two, you're usually going to get, about 80 to 90k to start, and that's enough to get you really rolling.
It's interesting.
And it's only about 2 minutes of looting. It's about a minute per location. So within 2 minutes, and then you off to start checking shops.
We did see Joe and Ninja both showing us there's a cane sitting up on Hobbs. So go find your Avenger.
Absolutely, that makes the shopping decision a little bit easier. Just any weapon. I'm happy with the Gungnir because that'll help you survive pretty quick. But yeah, we have all melee up to this point in time, don't we?
We do know there's a Rosa sitting in Baron Inn. So for now, yes, all melee, but we're going to have a white mage to accompany our strong front line.
I do really appreciate watching Firebird Lover here. He immediately went to Eblin Castle and says, you know what? I got hourglasses. This is the best time to use them.
And you have a party capable of taking these fights.
I mean, kinda. It's slow, but you can do it. I kind of want an Ogre Axe for my Cid before I'm taking on too many things here.
And that's the Twin Harp.
Well, that's nice to see. I don't know if a whole lot of people want to necessarily see that because it's one of those longer checks, but we'll take it.
And it could end up being our underground access. This is likely going to end up, yeah. FBL not healing after that last fight gets punched out by a stale man.
Meanwhile, Judge Joe is showing the King and Queen of Eblin. Now, the other interesting thing about these flag sets is the free fights are turned off, so we cannot, even though this is a relatively free fight because the magic attack is so low, there is not a script that is going to be followed here in terms of the King and Queen of Eblin will eventually just fade themselves out. So you really have to remember that and going through that King Queen Eblin won't auto script. Dark Knight Cecil isn't going to auto script. Even the Water Hag will not auto script.
And the DKC not auto scripting does bring up a second interesting point in that Dark Knight Cecil cannot gate our underground access.
So if you find a Dark Knight Cecil, no, that's not the intended route. Oh, speak of the devil.
Yes, so what this means is if we get a key item from here, say the Earth Crystal, we would know that does not gate our underground access.
I don't know if Ninja knows this because he's letting the waves come through. Ninja.
Okay, fourth wave has come out. I think, yeah, now he's figured it out.
Oh, and looks like we got the pan from doing the Bull Defense, which is
objective.
It is an objective, but more importantly, knowing that a lot of runners end up trying to fade Fabul if at all possible, trying to route Fabul Defense in with the pan check so it can make it just one time into Fabul. That makes that an interesting location for the pan and something that could put runners who try to loop all that together a little bit behind.
Oh, we've got ourselves a jet on our hands right now, potentially. Because with that pan, darkness from Antlion, we are a magma key from Go mode.
Okay. Yeah, this is gonna go fast, folks. Well, okay. Here's the trick, because now it's got to go fast, but now it's also got to get my levels, and the King Queen Evelyn fight, for example, is something that's relatively straightforward. We have high HP characters that could probably survive a punch or two, but we don't know what the other bosses are in each of these other locations. So we're kind of in go mode, but it's also kind of a, oh crap, I need my levels mode.
Yeah, we need levels, we need gear. Nice heal pots only shop.
Yeah, I think that's the real trick. No J items in the shops. You can find a summon orb still, so the item shops, if you have Iridia, are still fantastic to look for. Oh, that's a nice weapon shop. Wow, Stardust, Silence Rods, lightsabers.
Yeah, great weapon shop to stop for this party. We're not quite in go mode, not yet. I did say we're a magma key away from go mode.
Yeah, and it's a guaranteed magma key, so we know it's going to be somewhere near-ish. Oh, wow, that was a fantastic defense shop with protect rings. And there's our weapon for Kane, if we so desire.
And Ninja choosing the Gungnir.
It's a fine weapon. It can certainly get you through a lot. You ideally you want a defense sword, but the Gungnir Spear is certainly workable, and at half the price, knowing you still have a lot of stuff that you have to buy. There's protect rings that are next door there that Firebird is showing us.
Possibly the one piece of defensive gear I look for more than anything else in these flag sets are glass hats.
Glass hats are fantastic. Absolutely.
Yeah. Super high evasion, 30 defense. That's 60 if you slap someone in the back row.
All right, Judge Joe is showing us Ogopogo in the first Baron in spot. The second Baron in spot, though, is Evil Wall, and he's kind of punchy.
Oh, that's a DKC on the moon. I think that's going to incentivize at least Ninja to maybe pay Ordeals a visit.
Four fighters and a white mage, I'm good. That's a fantastic party for me. Brilliant.
Yeah, it is, especially because the Sylph traps are in no way on the table right now. So we don't need sweepers for those. Yeah, that evil wall that we see in Baron Inn, especially immediately coming after an Ogopogo that cut your health in half.
Yeah, as chat's pointing out, though, it is slow enough that we can kind of life pot and work our way around, mostly. And you were right, E-Ninja, he's like, yeah, I got that Dark Knight Cecil. I am immediately going and giving this a shot. So between that, Hush Pyramid seems to be doing a little bit more shopping, while Firebird Lover is taking another crack at these emblem chests.
I do like checking these shops because you can check the shop, you can peek who's at the stand room if you want more character information. Normally I like these shops, that today not so much.
Yeah, they're worthwhile shops to check, going out of the way. I've always appreciated them, in particular because they're so out of the way. Because if you find something good, you can count on maybe your opponents not maybe checking them. Maybe.
And This is why I like Experiment parked between Mist and Kaipo. You can just check the shops of both.
Hello, best shop for this party.
I saw cat claws.
There's cat claws, dragoon lances, and mute arrows.
Pretty good shop.
Pretty, not bad. I'm gonna say pretty tolerable. Oh, and black belts as well, because
Mist Village with the goods.
meanwhile, Mylan Z, we have a French vanilla Mylan Z up here on Mount Ordeals in the first attack spot with a 4-person party. Kane's going to be doing most of our heavy damage right now, although I wonder what kind of claw we have on...
Looks like he started with a poison.
Okay, I mean, poison is still fine, just not the fire claw that you would normally want to see. Oh, there's the legend sword on Firebird Lovers.
Yeah, the Stalemate Skull Chest with a legend sword. Oh, that'll be nice if we trip over the Adamant Rock, because that lets you fade one of the bosses if you really don't want to fight it.
Which of those would you fade right now? Because there's well, I mean, there's. I guess we don't. Oh, no.
Ha, ha, ha. And I don't know what's down there, but I like having the option to fade one if I find it again, because let's say you find a stinky fight in the Fame Arch. You can just go, nah, I'm going to the moon instead.
Oh, and Judge Joe actually finding the Earth Crystal, finally getting through that Baron Inn. So that's an automatic turn in. How are we gonna rate this treasury when it's all money, folks?
Okay, I'm putting the over-under on today's treasury at 300,000 GP.
Is the tracker gonna have to keep track of all the money, like add it up, like No, I don't.
Yeah,
I don't want to do that.
I really have to say that's a bad idea.
Oh, hi! Bandanas and power shirts, and of course the best shield ever, Aegis shield. Just saying.
And a Thunderclaw in case of, Odin or I guess Leviathan.
I tell you what, a Thunderclaw in K-Trap is absolutely invaluable just because it melts those machines in Lower Babel that are, in all of the trap chests there.
Very good point. We did see the evil wall. I know Pyramid was close, but may not quite had enough offense to get through that evil wall. The Ogre's only giving us a light sword, so we know Underground is behind either Twin Harp or Zot.
Great.
As we know it can't be on the deal.
That was over 200,000 experience. That was, or of gold. That was a ton of gold.
I think that was the under, though, because Joe's got less than 300K right now. So, I believe our under bettors would get this one.
It was enough to buy a crystal sword. I'll put that out there.
Or 3 power shirts.
Or 3 power shirts, which seems more relevant right now.
And on the second attempt at Golbez, we see Ninja getting the wall up. Kind of important here because the spells here, they hurt.
Yeah, this has a pretty high magic attack spot, and I'm not sure why, because, Mylan Z here does not cast any spells, as I recall. Maybe poison?
And we see Sid just getting obliterated by that lit 3. And we see the Y.
Yep. Crash, boom, bang, crumble. It's interesting. I mean, Firebird has certainly been doing a pretty good job in terms of doing all the looting, but I just realized he's the only one that hasn't picked up extra party members. Most of everyone else has already picked up a cane. We have Rosa for some party members, but even Cecil on E-Ninja's side. So, really interesting divergence that these runners have all had across the board.
And FBL going to chase that Twin Harp. We did see Pyramid get through the evil wall on a second attempt. Did not need the life roulette, just the Black Belts gave that. Black Belts and some more gear gave that extra offense. That allowed him to push through.
Gets that golden apple up on Ordeals. We didn't think it would be anything because of the Golbez stall there. But yeah, we're down to this Twin Harp, aren't we? And one other location, you said.
Well, there's 3. I forgot one. We got Twin Heart, we got Zot, and we got the Doggo.
Oh, true, because Earth Crystal was in Baron Inn, right?
Correct.
Okay. Yeah, we're like, okay, wait a second here.
Judge Joe making quicker work of the Mad Ogres. Assassin Dagger does some work when you can set up swoon procs.
Antlion, this is really kind of a free fight for Yang here. I mean, you do have to be careful. Having the Cure Tooth is certainly going to be beneficial.
Yes, agreed. On Firebird's side, we see the Dark Elf going through the opening script, throwing some spells at our characters. And I believe now it's time for DJ Spoony B to make his grand heroic entrance to save our party.
I just realized this is the only thing that we're really randomizing here, or will be for the tournament, perhaps, but...
In any case, enjoy the songs.
Okay, I think I'm going to call statute of limitations on harp music at this point.
Yeah, that's fair. This has been going for a minute. We've gone through this. We've gone through the loop twice.
Yeah, so catching up everything. I mean, Pale Dim, boss himself, with not doing a whole lot of damage, but I mean, Pale Dim isn't doing a whole lot of damage to the party, but we're not doing a whole lot of damage to Pale Dim. It's winnable, it's auto, but oh gosh, it's slow.
Yeah, I have a button on my stream for exactly this boss and for a similar reason.
That's your doot button, isn't it?
No, it's actually a little like picture on my stream that says I fought a Pale Dim at the heart in the march and knocked him with this button.
3 hours later.
And that hook does open up potential traps on the hook route.
It does. I mean, we know that's not our intended way to get into the underground, though. Keep in mind, it is a force magma start, so even though the hook was available, we do know that an easier way to get into the underground. Oh, Hushed Pyramid. That's too bad for you.
Yeah, dolls. Oh, we have hourglasses. This is. Oh, it's right, because it's no free bosses. You can't stop the back ones.
No free bosses means even the bosses that are normally regular enemies that you can use the hourglasses on normally, because it's no free bosses, you can't. So you might as well use them on those trap chests.
Yeah, without any sort of good AoE, that fight's not very fun.
No, it's not. And I don't know if it's supposed... I mean, with this party, it's really not going to be... There's no way around it. Meanwhile, Joe does take out the hairdryers, getting himself quite a chunk of experience. And a full party at that.
And the Adamant Rock. So that combined with the Legend Sword from from Eblin, that's one boss you get to fade.
If you do Eblin. I mean...
And FBL through the tail dim. That was a whole lot of FF5 opening theme, by the way.
All for just an hourglass. Oh, ho, ho. That hurts. Oh my gosh.
So now we know our underground is... Our magma key is through, what, Zot? One of the two hook route traps. Or I guess there could still be a D-Mist hanging out.
Yeah, we've checked the Mist Cave. I don't know if anyone has checked the Watery Pass waterfall yet, though. I'm curious, though. Help me out with the logic here. Can our logic with a forced hook route or with a forced magma key still have the magma key in the hook route in either the Staleman chest or
it most certainly can. Friday's community race, last Friday's community race, which was the first version of this flag set, had the magma key in the Mad Ogre chest. It was faster to do the free hook route.
Hey, by the way, how do we feel about D-Mist in Bahamut location?
It's not the worst, only because you have time to set up your blinks during mist phase. It's still not a fun fight by any stretch of the imagination.
No, this is a lot of HP here, and oh my goodness, yeah. This is going to be another long slog, but you know what? Here's the thing. Doing a long slog here is going to get you enough experience between this and hair dryers that Judge Joe already did. It's going to be set up really well for the rest of the fights that he's going to have to take on. Hush Pyramid, meanwhile, showing us Tella and Rosa.
Now, tell us another character. So we know 6 of our 7. I believe I saw Pyramid drop by a Dragoon Lance. I know someone did.
Well, we saw those Dragoon Lances in, what, Mist Village?
I think Basidia had the... Yeah, that's a Dragoon Lance jump or a White Spear jump. I don't think Kane is doing 4K otherwise.
Oh, no.
Just get that Dragoon in the air one more time, and the fight's over. Those D-looters only have 3K apiece here.
Yep, easy one shot there for the party. Certainly starting to get some levels on these characters. So, Hush Pyramid, first one through the Earth Crystal spot. We're in 4 wildly different locations, aren't we?
That we are. We have E-Ninja clearing out Baron in, Firebird Lover going to Hobbs, picking up Kane, Judge Joe playing on the moon as Joe is wont to do. And Pyramid showing us the spoon. So now we know our magma key is one of the 2 hook route chests.
This is mean, folks. I mean, it's something you have to prep for, but it's mean.
Which leads to the question, do you just clear the hook route? And you showed me something relatively tame at the Ruby spot. I might just clear the hook route rather than track down the magma key.
Here's the deal. I will check the Stoneman chest. If the magma key is not there, I'm going ahead and full clearing. Like, if we know it's in the Mad Ogre chest. If it's in the Stoneman chest, like if I'm E-Ninja, I have a Cecil, I can exit out. I think I'm still good. But if I have to walk back...
True. Oh, Pyramid can also exit out.
Oh, with the Tella, that's right.
I guess that too, but Pyramid's also got a Rosa with Zot completed.
Here's one thing that I think you and I know from running these seeds enough. Everyone is going to check everything else before doing that, though.
Agreed, especially if you've already got a solid party, so there's no character check incentive to go down the hook route.
That being said, the one person who's doing something a little bit different from everyone else is Judge Joe. And I gotta say, I like the Moxie, because it's a slog to get through this particular fight, but he is setting himself up because, his characters are going to have a whole lot more experience once he's through this than anyone else, and that'll just propel him forward.
I've raced with Judge Joe quite a bit. This is exactly the play I'd expect him to make. He's already said, you give me a decent anchor and a blink caster and I'll start taking out moon spots.
The only thing that I'm worried about a little bit on Joe's side is MP for Rosa.
We do see E-Ninja going into the Baron Inn. This evil wall fight should be significantly less scary than it was for our other runners.
Yeah, he's got a Gungnir Spear Cane and a lightsaber wielding Cecil. This is gonna be fine.
Firebird looks to be just can you clear the overworld.
Yep, when we know as commentators and as third-party watchers right now, we have, by process of elimination, figured out that the Magma Key is located somewhere within the hook route. None of the runners have had an opportunity to check any of those, all of the locations that are available. Because realistically, we had a lot of the overworld unlocked to us. We had Twin Harp that was unlocked, we had Earth Crystal that was unlocked, and now we have Hook and the Darkness Crystal, which, by the way, leads to, gets us some opportunities on the moon that Joe is showing us. So it's not been a kind of a short linear seed. The early game is really kind of wide open at this point. So I'm not surprised that no one has been able to complete everything.
No, especially with, like you said, the Twin Harp and the Earth Crystal out there. Those are not exactly fast checks. Judge Joe getting through that D-Mist. That was a fight.
His Rose has already got Gear 3 right now at 36 minutes, so that is a fantastic. Plus, it's an extra key item location, and if we happen to find us anyone who can use the Stardust Dross, I mean, Tella, I suppose, when we get there.
Yeah, I guess we have the old man. I don't know if we have any other Stardust Rod wielders.
Well, and Tella is going to hold extra significance this particular seed. Well, yes and no. Under normal circumstances, he would. He's the only one so far that we found that can cast Warp. And we have Dwarf Glitch on to where we can warp and completely bypass needing to use the Luca key. So including him makes it a little bit more important, I think, just because he unlocks an extra key item location.
Very true point. Judge Show's stopping over in Silvar. I don't know if anyone actually shopped here.
I don't think so either. We're just about out of stuff for them to shop for. Well, strength rings. Not going to turn down a strength ring. We also haven't found like a good piece of. Okay, samurai.
Standing post, nice.
I'll take it. I was hoping for an X-Cal or a crystal sword or anything, but we still have shops underground that we have to find, I guess.
The pyramid could go up ordeals. Yeah, we're going to see every check made before people go down that hook route.
Absolutely, and that's common sense. I think when you're running this kind of seed, you want to make sure to check everything. Now, you and I have discussed this. Oh, Judge Joe making the turn in, and this is. Oh, did he park? Did he park in
on the
back?
correct side. He parked it. He came in back.
This is why you park in the back.
Honestly, if you parked in the front there, you would just reset.
Not if he didn't save until after that cave.
Very good point.
So Joe actually dodging the Twin Harp. Normally the logical thing to do when you have both the Earth Crystal and the Twin Harp is to go ahead and do the Twin Harp first and then route it down into the Earth Crystal just so you can knock out kind of all the Troya checks all at once. It's interesting that Joe is going kind of against the grain, maybe thinking, hey, I spent a lot of time up on the moon. I have levels, which is fine. Now I just need, like, it's just the more efficient check because it's 2 here as opposed to the 1.
And we know the Twin Harp is, well, great music, and I know Judge Joe would appreciate it. Not much value.
Firebird now on their way up to the moon now, which is good to see.
And we see it's just a sparkle in the waterfall. Wyvern taking a bath. That's great news for our runners, potentially.
Yeah, I would much rather see Wyvern there than literally any place else. So
I sort of want to run in that thing with this party right now. I don't have an Edward to take the explosion when it happens again.
Well, I think we have some music reprisal. This might not be quite as long this time, though.
That was a much quicker fight. We also had some interesting dueling dudes going on.
Absolutely. So we did see very early in the first 3 chests in Cave Evelyn was actually our Magna Key. So went in there, actually checked the shops. I did see a white shirt and then the fantastic Excalibur weapon. Hush Pyramid doesn't have a Cecil, so has not been up Mount Ordeals. So that Excalibur was of no value to him whatsoever. But some of the other runners, it'll be interesting to see if they pick him up, because it looks like Firebird is activating his Cecil right now.
Right, and with what Pyramid has, I don't see him even going anywhere. A Pyramid did Ordeals, so that Cecil's going to be interesting, but I don't see him taking the Cecil.
Now, most of the runners have at least most of their levels up to this point already. Once you get into the mid 20s, you get, especially with the seed like this, where you're committed. Like, it's not. What I miss?
Oh no! Our tracker pointing out that double pointing out that Pyramid reset out of the Ordeals fight, so no Cecil.
Okay. Part of what I think makes this particular flag set interesting when it comes to party composition, not only are you limited just because there's only 7 characters that are out there, but you have to make a commitment to the gear that you purchase as well, because money is a very limited resource, and it spends time collecting it by itself. So the gear that you end up buying has to benefit the party that you're planning on having throughout everything. So you can't just pivot real quickly because you happen to have some extra gear lying around, when you're in your late 20s or early 30s. You gotta kind of commit earlier.
Or, hear me out on this, have the Sylphs just hand you a crystal sword.
Because they always do.
Yeah, okay, so their tracker says that Pyramid reset as soon as Golbez showed himself, which makes sense if you're just hunting the Magma Key. Golbez is unchanged under no free bosses, but the fact that the unsafe is not on means that Golbez cannot gate our underground access. Or our logical underground access.
Yeah, it was interesting. This seed actually had 2 gated bosses, with Golbez blocking Mount Ordeals and then Dark Knight Cecil blocking Antlion Cave, right? And all the subsequent things there afterwards.
Pyramid's gonna turn in the pan first, looks like.
Yep, gotta be it. I was like, why haven't we seen the Fey March? And I can get behind this. We already have the pan.
I count 9 key items. This may be a play for 10 to try to get some XP.
Of all the people to live,
Zero for 1. Okay. Moonveil, not a key item, but still very, very useful.
Yeah, but if you were shooting for that 10th key item, you're a little bit disappointed.
Right, but if my Zonk is a Moonveil, I'll get over it.
Yeah, that Moonveil is going to turn one fight free, effectively.
Right, if we run into, say, a super punchy boss at, I don't know, the demons at Cave Bahamut, that Moonveil could just say no to it. Ooh, Avenger, yes. Give now.
It's like, ooh, Avenger. And there's a heroine robe as well, but that's a little too late at this point in time. But Kane's about to have himself some fun.
This is now, we've now entered the Kane go forth and do bad things part of the seed.
So Joe is going to be the second one into the underground, finding that magma key. Closely following Hush Pyramid. Now so we're at pretty low levels right now on Hush Pyramid side. We're in our mid to high 20s for most of the party, which isn't going to defeat a lot of bosses. It's doable depending on your party setup and what the bosses are. But it's going to take a special combination right now to be able to take on whatever is there. Meanwhile, Joe says, this is the first place I'm going.
I think Joe wants the freebie, wants the... No, who is down here?
Well, Joe does already have 10 characters, 10 key items, so not necessarily key item hunting, but also wanting to know, I mean, at this point in time, he's close to go mode as anyone. There's a rat tail in its vanilla location.
Not necessarily key item hunting. You don't need more, but Joe doesn't know where the legend sword is.
No. So... Still looking, I mean, we could have that and we would be in no mode completely. Ribbon. Oh, but we already have turn and pan, so we're already in no mode.
Yep.
So.
We're not in no mode. We're in full go mode. We have everything to finish the seed right now. Unless they've changed it, I believe it's still 6 of 8.
It is still 6 of 8, so we can let's peek on this king and queen, see where we're going. Interesting that Hushed went ahead and continued to take fights here. Oh, did he use the Star Veil?
I think this was a Moon Veil used.
Yeah, Moon Veil, that's what I thought, and reset out.
And those warriors have, I think, 2,400 HP, and I think do they just heal or do they drain when they're alone?
Not entirely sure. I mean, I usually sweep through them because Leviathan or Quake or something like that. So I don't know if I've ever actually left one alone.
I know they have a counter script when they're solo.
Oh
Ew.
my, that's disgusting.
These counters are gonna tickle.
Did we find an ice claw anywhere? That would have been really nice.
Oh, Sid's dead.
Glare, turns out, pretty strong spell.
And if you're looking to set his party, you'll find Sid's charge remains. That's not ice claw damage. That was only 1,000. Bye, Kane.
Yeah, this is just rotating through. I'm not saying that it's impossible.
No,
but
it's very much a winnable fight.
It's a very winnable fight, but at the same time, you're like, is it worth it? Can I just go get some levels and come back? And
Our extreme restaurant rotating like barbecue.
oh, and then you do something cheap like cast fire and life up everyone. Okay, that's good knowledge, Joe.
And you're about to answer the question I had before. What do these things do when alone? Oh,
They die.
never mind.
All that for just an assassin dagger. Oof.
Don't maybe go to the wiki.
Meantime, E-Ninja is about to get his magma key right now, while Firebird Lover getting doing their hairdryer just for some of that sweet, sweet experience.
And the good news of, hey, that's an objective that I don't have to fight a boss for. Question is, which of these 3 wonderful bosses we found so far is FPL going to fade?
You know what? That Baigen at Leviathan is not looking too good. I think I'm taking my chances on the moon bosses.
I would agree with that. The Ruby, at the very least, you can do what Joe is doing. It's Glare only kills one person at a time, and you have enough non-fight ways to deal damage.
The only other thing that I could see doing, if you had a Cecil, is being able to back row protect everyone as well, which is super helpful for someone like Baigen.
Problem is, Baigen vampires will get through that, but that's like every other arm turn.
Hey, just keep that arm down.
Very true. I believe it's only the front arm that does that.
I thought it was the back. It's one of the arms, though.
I know one uses vampire, one uses entangle. So one damages, the other one displays the message miss.
Wow, Joe gets through that. I mean, just very well done there, Joe. Really putting on a clinic on how to do low-level strats for bosses all over the place. And hey, glass hat.
That's a very nice get here. It'll help with the fight right next door. I didn't see, what was the rat tail turning item?
I didn't see it either. Based on, oh, it was a glass hat as well.
Interesting. Or interesting resetting out of that.
Well, I don't know if Hush Pyramid has checked the Fate March yet, right? Because our first peek was Judge Joe doing these bosses, and
right.
that's something that would be my best piece of advice for anyone who's about to get started. If you're new to Free Enterprise, this is going to sound really kind of like high-level strats, but those people who've been in the community for a long time know, do your objectives. Or at least check them.
Yeah, you know you have to fight both bosses down there. Take a peek at what's there. What mess do I have to deal with is a good question to have answered. Yeah, I know Hushed at least went down there because we saw him go into the Ruby fight. Kane immediately got glared in a reset.
Oh, did he? Okay, okay. That's it. Nope, I'm coming back later. So we see Joe is now doing Biden.
Okay, we had confirmation to chat. The Rat-tail tournament was an apple. That reset makes a lot more sense.
Okay. You know, this Biden is... I mean, this might be exactly where you want your... you want to use your Moon Veil if you are going to use that.
I would be inclined to agree.
Moon Veil up Kane, let him put the Avenger on him, and then just let him go to town at that point.
Right, because the only way he's going to fall at that point is if he gets vampired repeatedly. The fight might take a minute if Kane decides it's time for an arm grind. And FBL picking up the hook. And finish out the tower and then realize it's on the hook route. Hey, free ribbon from a trap chest. We do have some orbs taking or controlling the tower. It gets me what ruthless efficiency when using the tower's cannon. Oh, I wouldn't mind an orb grind. This spot doesn't have the best XP for it.
Nope, not typically. Nope.
And those baby orbs would have given you about 3k a piece. 3,500-ish. On Judge Joe's side, we see everyone with blinks up and one arm down.
Yeah, between Rosa and Tella, even though Tella has not been fully powered up on Mount Ordeals, he still knows Blink. So he's still a fantastic support mage, not just being able to cast Exit, but also being able to cast Blink, which is just an incredibly powerful spell for Tella to have out of the box.
Oh no! Top of battle with the alt gauntlet.
And both the Ninja and Hush Pyramid are doing it right now.
So if you look on FBL side, you see 2 Stale Men. On Ninja side, we just had 2 Stone Men. On Pyramid side, we're about to have 2 Stone Men. It's golems everywhere.
Looks like Cecil is also equipped with an Avenger Sword right now. So, just letting everything fly right now. Oh, what? Oh no.
We have Thor Rages. This is fine. On Pyramid side, we'll have a Tella that can throw a virus cast, maybe an Ice 1. Maybe it might be ice 2 to clear that one out.
Yeah, I think for the tofus you need at least an ice too.
Really certain they're weak to ice. Or we could have a Fandango, which I guess wouldn't really help here. Because you would need to have Cecil's a hero for that.
Wow, and Judge Joe threw that a little bit of an arm grind, so got his levels.
Mm-hmm. All you 2 blink casters is enough to stop Vigen's punches.
He's got to return the pan, and then he needs to go to the moon and do the Masa altar in the ribbon room. And Judge Joe is done. Meanwhile, Firebird Lover is going to be turning in the Adamant Rock, getting the powered up weapon. Yeah, this will be Forge with a Yang hero, so he's going to be getting his upgraded claw.
How about some nice dragon claws tonight? That's what I'm thinking.
Yep.
Hey, is it really? That's not really witchcraft. It was a 1 in 3 shot.
That was the worst Cockle Shop I have ever seen. Now it's an S Wildish. Oh wow.
Yeah, as well, Cockle Shops are something special.
Yeah, but that was uniquely special. That was what iron, like iron arrows, iron gauntlet, life potions, and some such.
Ah, you didn't want some of those Cocoa Premium life potions? And Leviathan, so that's what, 1, 1, 2, and 5 for the tiering?
Yeah, it was bad. Wow, it was bad.
That's about an average S-Wild Cocoa shop, all things considered. That shop just takes 4 random items, throws them out there, and there's a lot more low tier items than there are high tier.
Right, so Judge Joe has the pan turn in, and frankly, between all the bosses that he's done, he's got the levels now. Nothing should really be too scary for Joe up on the moon at the Masa altar and the ribbon room.
Yeah, I'm thinking, what really gives this party trouble? Maybe Magus Sisters and Masa could be a bit of a headache.
It's a very physical damage heavy party right now, right?
Yeah, Grunt pointing out a turtle would be rooted either spine. I don't think we've seen it yet.
Nope. Ninja here showing us. I don't know. Have we seen?
This is a Dragoon Lance. Pyramid already got it. Why are you parking there, Ninja? No! Don't do it! Don't use a siren!
Oh, no. So normally this would be a fantastic idea. Only we don't get any experience for random encounters in this flag set, which means sirens are useless. Yeah, read your flag. I mean, keep in mind, this is still pre-tournament season. We're still testing the flags. It's not muscle memory for a lot of us quite yet. So we're still getting tested.
Edo XP is a flag. Those sirens they do still some value. They're not completely useless.
I sell them.
The only value I could see them having, if you have an edge in your party, you can park right in front of Silk Cave and swipe some silk webs. Or you could use a siren in Cape Magnus. I think the top and bottom floors have ogres in them. Or in the siren encounter, you can swipe Bacchus wine. And chat pointing out, of course, pink puffs. Just, get yourself an adamant armor and shut down free enterprise. Please don't get yourself an adamant armor. We would like to not be shut down.
Yeah, we would like to continue going. But I mean, shout out to the Pink Puff League, by the way. This is a very interesting online speedrunning community in that we have the Pink Puff flag set and club designed specifically for beginners, for folks who stumble across us somewhere in the grand scheme of the internet, finds us, says, hey, this looks really cool. I'm really scared to try speedrunning for the first time. That's what the Pink Puff League and the club is for in particular. So if you're new and you're just hanging out and you're like, hey, this looks really cool, but I'm super scared to get into it for the first time because you don't know what you're doing, join us over on the Discord server and hang out with the rest of the Pink Puffs. I promise you, there have been some fantastic, long-term tourney winners that have graduated from the Pink Puffs. So, I mean, please just come over and join us.
Yeah, speaking of tourney winners, we have had someone finish this seed already. Former Pink Puff Rybon has finished in first place with a time of 1 hour, 4 minutes, 43 seconds.
Firebird doing a Sylph Trap Chest, getting an Excalibur, which, hey, that's nice. I appreciate
that. Joe, I believe, is in the ribbon room right now. We have a little Spider-Man pointy meme going on between the two Yangs.
Which would you rather have, Black Sword attacking Yang or Dragon Claw attacking Yang?
I think the Dragon Claw just looks better.
It really does.
And Pyramid has decided to play with the D-Mist. I believe that Kane is avenging away, which is going to lead to a whole lot of Cold Mist counters.
Yeah, that's something you got to remember to turn off. E-Ninja getting a Crystal Sword for his Cecil. That's going to be the first Cecil that can actually equip a Crystal Sword.
Even though it was completely unnecessary, I appreciate you, Joe, for showing us it's in there. That was Bahamut. That was the Rydia kit in the ribbon room.
Yeah, either let Rydia hit things or let Rydia blarg things. Either way, you're going to have a good time.
So we're going to see what is Judge Joe's final boss of this seed.
Yep, the Masa Altar. It is one of the more difficult spots in the game. Certainly a lot of HP. It can, depending on who's here, it can really put a hurting on you. And we shall. It's normally the location of Ogo Pogo, but instead it is simply
That's honestly not bad.
It's not horrible. I mean, we've already seen Judge Joe use a lot of blink casts already, and this is just a boss that does a lot of physical damage. He hits hard. Boo-hoo.
We've got a Thunderclaw. There's the Moonveil up, so Judge Joe cannot lose this fight now. Because all this boss does is punch. Moonveil gives you a permanent immunity to physical attacks for the fight. True, Grunt pointing out permanent unless you die by other means, but barring someone else in the party throwing a coffin at Yang, I don't see how he dies.
Zerked up both our Sid and Arcane, and yeah, otherwise just letting our monk start punching away. This is really pretty straightforward, all things said, so he will be done shortly. Meanwhile, Hush Pyramid now on the mist fight as well. Certainly has blinks rolling, which seems to be the strat.
Joe is through the Moss Ultra, so we just gotta wait for the item get and the congratulations screen.
There it is. Congratulations to Judge Joe getting through this scene.
First on Restream, second overall. We did have we had 13 entrants in this race today, so second overall. And we are joined by Judge Joe. GG's, Joe.
Thanks. It was a fun one. Unfortunately, there was a Tesla, so not a chance to win.
And you were making...
Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, even without the Cecil, you were making some major plays there. You know, the early dive into the moon and saying, hey, let's just do what I can up here with the D-Mist. After the hair, you went hair dryers and then D-Mist. And then it seemed like you were just showing off all these low percent strats between the D-Mist and then the Baigen fight and the other one. Gosh, I forget what
Ruby
spot was. Ruby, yeah.
Ruby.
I mean, if you're not gonna go and just swing a crystal sword, and you're not just gonna go and anchor, you gotta be a little fancy sometimes. Although, to an extent, I mostly just cast Blink and Zerked at the end. But Ruby, a better use than casting a single life. Just fire one. That's total party life. It's helpful.
And that was an impressive little showing of tech right there. And why, as long as you're not forced to use fight command, that Ruby is not scary at all.
Yeah. Did anyone find the Legend Sword?
It was in Eblin Castle.
Got it, the third trap chest. Okay, unfortunate, but that does help a bit.
So if you had found the Legend Sword,
one annoying trap chest, it's the other easy objective. It happens.
So had you found the Legend Sword, which of those bosses would you have faded?
Well, I'd probably end up fading the Octoman simply because that's the last one I face, but I'll take the slightly less punchy just to guarantee I get through. It's what, 7,000, 10,000 more health at most. Although, if you take the Cecil, Ribbon Room done, you get the Forge done. That's honestly a lot of time that could be gained that way. At the low cost of an ordeal.
And it was quite the ordeal. There was a back attack Golbez that you missed.
Neat.
So, Joe, one of the things I've been asking folks about, as we're prepping these flag sets for, an upcoming tournament, is it seems like we haven't really nailed down a good opening yet as a community. What are your thoughts in terms of where you go to scope out, balance between, checking the shops, but still doing some looting and kind of doing that opening route?
Okay, as of this moment, I think I've done 3 of these flag sets. First one I followed the kind of just standard grab money from Evelyn, go shopping if needed. It depends on the party. You give me an edge, I'm going to Hobbs 98% of the time. You give me early power, the ability to just push a little, I think that just works out better than looting and then shopping, and yeah, you'll find a weapon or whatever, but do some of that on the way. The difference between 400 and 800 is like a hit and a half often in the early game, so I like going and pushing, getting the characters, getting the XP that way. I like early characters is my route, I find.
Billboard in chat saying, Joe, go check the music.
Oh, sure. Give me a sec.
Oh, we've heard it already, but while you're doing that, what were your thoughts when you saw that Demus stuff there? Was that still just a snap take because it's a physical boss?
What are my thoughts on the Demus being where it was?
Yeah. I decided to take it immediately.
I'd take almost... Ruby might be one boss I wouldn't have been happy to take there. That's a lot of HP I was very low level. But I got Blink on Rosa. I had 30-something life potions and 5 people. Odds are I was going to be able to get through most fights there. Blink is the most powerful spell in the game for what it allows you to do.
I honestly think something like Magus Sisters might have been one of the few fights that would scare you off just because you can't blink through spells.
Their spells don't do all that much, though. I think I did have a Protect Ring also. And I had Mute Arrows.
Okay, I didn't see those.
Sid started with Mute Arrows. When I restocked, I also stocked up on Mute Arrows. So that was the only arrows I was shooting this entire seed except Rosette Charm. Final Fantasy V music is always good.
Yeah, you see why we called it out.
So was it the Tiger Claw or the God Hand?
Neither.
Dragon Claw.
It's a Dragon Claw.
None of those are ice, so I don't think any of those help on almost any of the bosses.
Right, and
made Yang a little stronger, yes. But...
Right, you didn't run into any dragons up there, so Dragon Claw's effectiveness wouldn't work.
And also, Dragoon Spear Cane is a good thing. Cane did work. unfortunate that there was a crystal sword just sitting around on your way very easily, but Kane did work.
I would agree. And I don't know how you feel about Kanan's flag set.
He has a variety. He might have the most weapons that'll get him workable, because Gungnir, White Spear, Defense Sword, Dragoon Lance, all 4 of those will get you through a seed. Avengers the 5th, so you got 5 weapons, you're likely to find something. Kane's almost always going to be usable in this flag set. Rydia has a nice benefit of just guaranteed Bahamut somewhere. So when you're not anchoring, Bahamut actually goes up in value. Yes, it's not instant, but when you're already kind of losing ticks and dripping through your party order, sometimes having something that takes a little longer to cast, it works out fine. So those are some of the definitely, and then Edge is just so strong with his early power that I think Edge is number 1 in my character pool. Just, he does so much. Doesn't matter if he's the hero or not. Any early Edge is so strong.
Good to get other people's opinions on, or people's thoughts on relative character power in this kind of flag set.
Yep. Was there any sort of interesting or spicy fights I might have missed with my routing? Or...
I mean, it's interesting because we knew that the Magma Key, could not be behind, certain bosses, right? And Golbez was on Mount Ordeals, and then Dark Knight Cecil was an Antlion, so it kind of inherently just restricted where everything could be just in the normal
right flow. Dark Knight Cecil, even if he's even if he's in a free location, still can't block your access.
Right, because no free bosses puts him into the pool.
Also, I forgot I faced Dark Knight Cecil, if I'm honest. Was a little worried he might have been sitting at the Masamune altar.
No, there wasn't any real spice outside of the bosses you took. A lot of the spice was on the critical path.
Yeah. After, well, I mean, let's see. Pan was Fool, Magma Key was Antlion, or Darkness was Antlion. You do Antlion and Fabul, you're Magma Key go mode from there. So, this was a pretty jetty seed, even if depending, and it's simply a matter of how fast can you figure out how to fight bosses quickly, along with when do you find the Magma Key, because a little bit out of the way. But yeah, I just want to thank you guys for putting on Restream. I'm hoping it was a fun one to watch, and I hope everyone enjoyed watching as well. I definitely will probably watch it back.
That was a fun scene. You put on a great show.
Always enjoy just having a little bit of fun with community races. Maybe I go and mess about with using Cecil in an actual tourney, but I don't know. You can do so much without him, and if you already have stuff, yes, with Wild it could be anywhere, but I don't necessarily feel like going out of your way to hunt for Cecil power is always the right option.
Anyway, no, you put on a fantastic show, Joe. So, congratulations on the second place win and GG's.
Thanks. Hope everyone has a good night.
Have yourself a good night. Yeah. That was our second place finisher, Judge Joe, and we are now joined by eNinja81. GG's, Ninja.
Yep, GG's. Should have read those flags before I came into this race.
Yeah, we saw you take the sirens.
No, you saw me take a fourth wave from DKC.
Well, that too, but there was.
Oh, I knew there was no J items. I knew that. I read that part. I didn't see it was unsafe bosses.
It was also Eno XP, so the sirens that you took didn't actually give
nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Boy. Yeah, I'm having one of those days.
Hey, no harm there. We've all been there. Absolutely.
I mean, I like the flag set and everything. I would just actually have to get used to the flags.
It's something very different than we've played the last few tournaments.
Oh, yes, I know.
So, flag set aside, what were your thoughts on the season as a whole?
It was interesting. I mean, yeah, and actually, I saved one trap chest on Lower Babel because I was thinking sirens, but oh wait, no EXP, so that didn't really matter. Oh, other than that, I mean, it's a good flag set. I just got to get used to the different things like no EXP stuff. So I'll have to like rely on like trap chests and stuff like that for experience. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we
Yep.
can hear you. I was just
I'm
going to
just-
ask, did you have any questions about the scene, about anything else that was going on that we can fill you in on?
Not really. Yeah, I just kind of blanked out on some of the flags, and I think I'm gonna take some rest and maybe try them again another day.
Yeah, still got plenty of time to practice, get a good memory of what these flags are before the tournament starts.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure if I'm going to do the tournament. I'll have to see. It just depends on a lot of factors.
If you can't make it, you can't make it. No, that's perfectly fine.
Yep. Well, I hope. I want to thank everybody behind the scenes. Doubleword, pushing the buttons, not eating them, S-Grunt for the restream, UNG Dave, and Vitasia for the comms.
Hey, and thank you for being restreamed. We couldn't put on this show without you guys.
Yep. And well, with that, I am gonna go probably at least lay down for a little bit, get a little bit of rest.
Go take care of yourself, Ninja.
Yep. Night.
Hey, we have Hush Pyramid heading down to Feymarch. While that was going on, Pyramid cleared out the moon, did the forge, turned in the pan, so just needs to pick his poison now.
Yep, it's just one of the two. I think of the two, the Ruby is going to be a little bit kinder.
And with the power level of this party right now, they're both relatively kind. I would be tempted to go after the Baigen with how fast that Yang has gotten.
True, you can just zerk everyone up and call it.
As a thing is that while yes, our anchor's gone pretty fast, that Queen spot is enormously fast.
Oh yes, and it does look like it turned the speed down just a little bit as well. So we'll be jumping in there. Oh, looks like putting the white lance on. Okay.
Yeah, that to me says it's going to be Ruby. Oh, Baigen. Interesting. I think event or just going in with Eventro might be better for Baigen. Oof. Hey, this spot punches.
Yeah, so gonna do what we can. Getting cures up. Probably need to get this Tell up to help with the blink casting here before too long.
And with how hard you saw these hit, that makes what Joe did getting through this with the level 20s party. It just shows how impressive that is.
Absolutely. It really, I mean, part of it was a little bit of good fortune with the setups. Also making sure that your menuing is just really on point because you can't waste a whole lot of time.
And by the way, it's the back one of Vampire's front one in Tangles. I was watching the arms as they go. I thought it was the other way around, so glad I didn't say anything.
Looks like he's going to focus on just making sure that Rosa's the only party member really taking turns. Everyone else is zerked up.
Now, with this kind of damage output, and Rosa's got Cure 4, so you can top people off easily if you need to. Or, chop both arms off, like if you try to get Blink up.
Meanwhile, Firebird Lover is just put the Moon Veil on Cecil, and it's go time.
Everyone else is in critical, so Moonveil Cecil will auto cover everyone and take 0 damage. Yeah, we can zerk up the other 3 melee and turn them loose.
You do have to worry about that vampire, as you talked about. Cecil can't cover the vampire.
And we do have 2 party members with 1 HP, so Vampire guaranteed killing either of them. And that damage is guaranteed killing everyone not named Sid.
Meanwhile, Hush Pyramid looks like is gonna have to reset out. Yep, there's a perished.
I honestly think I would like the Rubicon fight more because you have 2 characters ways to just bypass the Fire 2 counter, or even if HP to simply tank it.
Now on FBL side, just arms are recovered, so And then just about the rest of the party is zerked up except Cecil. So those cover strats still working wonders.
Right, we cannot berserk Cecil because once he's zerked, Cecil's too angry to cover for other people. I think that's why it breaks cover. I honestly don't know.
The other interesting thing that I always found counterintuitive is you can't parry. Like, I mean, Cecil has a crystal sword on FBL side, so you still want to swing while you can, but if not, you know, if you parry, he will not do any covering, which I always found was really odd.
Right, so if you're up against a boss that counters physicals, what you can do is just use the equipped weapon as an item, just to pass his turn without parrying. This comes up if you're covering mages against say an antlion.
And down goes Baigen.
Yes. Well done, Firebird. Recognizing the Moonveil cover strats are an answer to this. So Firebird just has 2 moon spots left to go. We have your choice of D-Mist at K value, Karate in the Ribbon Room, and Octomam at the bottom.
All of them only deal physical damage for the most part. So our blink strats that we've been using for most of this seed, really, they all fit at this point.
Oh, that's why Firebird was going to Troya. The parking authorities can have some words. Like, who left this whale here?
Oops.
Not the... I didn't even ticket the big whale that's parked there.
I mean,
Like,
I don't know how you're going to put, like, you know, one of those parking caps on the big whale. Like, nope, you can't move now.
it was like, oh yeah, watch this. Go straight up.
Look, I don't know if there's even any windows that you would be able to, like, attach the parking ticket to. Like, what's it going to, like, stuff it around, like, tape it to one of the legs?
I also just thought as while we're looking at this, the 3 objectives on Moon, 2 of them, you know, resist that crystal sword swinging around.
True, that is a good point. That crystal, so, and it's an interesting property of the original game that the D-Mist is, you know, is weak to the darkness elemental and strong against the light elemental. Same thing with the Octomom for some strange reason, because we had a darkness sword and that's all we had. So yeah, really interesting.
To answer question, chat, with no free bosses, you cannot coffin the officer. Every boss fight in the game gets the boss bit, so You cannot throw any status ailments at them. With the exception of slow.
Yeah, slow is still fine.
But no coffins, no stone cast, no free. I don't know what I was just trying to say there. It's supposed to be mini. No mini, no toad. No piggy.
Not that you do most of those in most circumstances. Anyway.
No. A big one, no muting the Baron guards.
Yeah, that does make that particular fight, in some spots, very difficult.
You can still do Lunar Frogs.
You know, I want to give a shout out to FBL because this is a really heads up play, knowing that, hey, most of my party is already weak from the previous fight on Baigen. Went into the Demas fight knowing, yeah, I'm probably going to be doing the same thing, so didn't heal up. You know, I think there's a muscle memory reflex from a lot of runners who, okay, about to find a new boss, let me use a cabin, let me heal up. And FBL with the foresight, knowing, hey, I know there's a Demas here. I'm going to be using most of the same cover strats anyway. Let's not heal up. So not only is it a time saver, but, you know, on one end, you save time on the other end, not having to set anything up right now.
And hopefully, since we know there's another pure physical boss all the way at the bottom, FBL just continues covering and can cover that one as well. Unfortunately, cover strats don't really work on Yang. Dark Dragon gets a boss bit too.
Yep, everything gets the boss bit, just about. Well, yeah, everything does, just not the trap chest is all.
Right, so pretty much the only alternate strategies that still work are Lunar Frogs, Thunderstruck still works. Although with Sea Hero and no ability, no curse string, if you can pull off Thunderstruck, more power to you.
Nope, can't ouch the Yang.
But I do believe this will be our first tournament with that flag on. Is that correct?
I believe so. There might have been a tournament at some point in time when we were experimenting with no free bosses at some other point, but it would have been for like a second stage. It's not in the first round of the flags. I know at least that much. It might also be the first time in tournament history that it's ever been used, but it does change the dynamic of quite a few bosses.
Although, funny enough, there's a certain boss that it can make faster.
Yep, it can make water hag faster. If you happen to chew through the health before the script plays out.
Yeah. How many times have you seen water hag and Super Cannon just groaned because you still have to do the full 3 hits? Or your opening swing does like 3,000 damage to it.
Now the script will still continue to play. Like if you don't kill it, like Anna will still show up. All right, and FBL gets through the D-Mist fight with the Stardust Rod. So now just one more fight to do, either the Masa Altar or the Ribbon Room.
And with this party setup, if you're gonna keep cover striding, I think the Masa Altar is the easier of the two.
It is, but with the party setup, I mean, if we have Thunderclaw on Yang, then I think yes. Because we can just Zerk up and then cover from there. But if not, I mean, you're also thinking that your Crystal Sword Cecil isn't swinging for as much as you're accustomed to because of the holy strength for that. So, I don't know. But either way, FBL does not know either of the bosses, I don't believe. So it's just, hey, which spot is more appealing?
While Firebird Lover is making the hopefully final approach, I would like to shout out our restreamer S-Grunt for rolling this wonderful seed. Tracker Dubward, 4-player tracking, always a rough job. And shout out to you, Vitasia, for hanging out here, going over, or talking about the seed with me.
Always a pleasure, and of course, shout out to Enja Dave as well. One of probably my favorite people that I've met through this community, through everything else that's been going on. So big shout out to you as well, sir.
And of course, a shout out.
The love.
And of course, a big shout out to Firebird Lover, Ninja 81, Judge Joe, and Hush Pyramid for running the seed, because without them, we wouldn't have a show.
Absolutely. And it's been an entertaining one too. I think as more people start to figure out what's going on with the seeds, we get these early starts where people just go in 4 different directions and they stay in 4 different directions. As tournaments power on, that's not always going to happen, but here we are.
We are still in the early part where a meta really hasn't been established yet.
This is my favorite part of tournament season, is the pre-tournament season where no meta has been established. So all races do look completely different from one another.
I imagine once everything's formally announced, and people are running multiple practice seeds, we're going to close in on one quickly enough, because that's what this community does.
Yeah, they do. If there's a way to break it, this community is real good at breaking it.
First, I misread that at first and thought that said fresh meat.
Fresh meta.
Well, if that was intentional, then very well done. Well, not very well done meat, hopefully, but also things are very well done. FBL finishing the Yang and finishing up the seed.
He, according to Dubward, was on the hook route in the Mad Ogre chest. Then, wow.
It would have to be. So if you had finished up the hook route or checked the other chests in there, well, who knows what's in the basement?
That's a lot of time commitment to go all the way to the basement, though, because you have to go through the watery pass there.
Especially because you're in go mode at that point. We're joined by Firebird Lover. GG's Firebird.
Thanks. That I'm not sure if I should apologize for what must have been the longest harp song ever.
It's a good song though, so no apologies needed.
I had a plan and it kind of worked, and then it kind of didn't.
Yeah, that's what I was asking about. What was your thoughts on the early seed there, deciding to take the Elven Traps?
I had three hourglasses, and mute arrows were a sure thing kill against the ogres. And I thought they were enough power against either of the other traps as well. I didn't know if they'd get me through all three traps, but it felt like enough. So I figured no one else is going to go there, and let's go see what I find. And once I found the twin harp, I felt I had to follow it up.
Makes perfect sense to me.
I think the most frustrating thing was finding that moon veil after turning in the pan. And going, oh, well, that solves my problem. I didn't get a chance. I just had a chance to watch the race. Did other people go a different route to finish this?
Yeah, the opening was 4 different directions all at once. It was a little bit wild. For example, some people didn't even do Castle Eblin for the trap chest. They were able, or they did 2 out of the 3. Found some other things. Was able to dodge some things, and other people weren't able to dodge a lot. We saw everything from the 20-minute mark on, but most people didn't get underground until about 40 minutes, just because of all the different divergence that happened early on.
Oh, I'm sure everyone who wasn't me and taking a risk hated the location of that magma key.
I think most of our people on Restream, at least, second to last location to that, or close to it.
I knew I was a little behind after the early wipe, so as soon as I saw that hook, I was like, we're just going to do hook route, and if I happen to find the magma key, even better. And that's why I didn't finish Earth, or Zot. But this was fun. I like these flags. I hope we get a tournament every year that involves K-Win, because I really like these flags. Adequate, what's your thoughts on them?
Honestly, for me at least, win games certainly changes how you approach a lot of things.
That's
yeah. Yeah, I think right now, it's the exciting part of being in the community that's testing the flags, because, and we were just talking about this on stream, the meta of how to do openings hasn't been firmly established that this is the best route, quote unquote. So every community race that is testing these out just is people scattering to the wind immediately, and it's chaos. And that's my favorite part about it right at the moment. It certainly is a fun flag set. I love K-Trap personally. I love K-Trap. And win is fun, certainly. It's just such a different dynamic with having to, like, you're just getting the money, so you also have to do shopping. So you also have to peek at the shops and just kind of roll with that. It's a very different experience than anything else, and that's one of the nice things about Free Enterprise is that it's a randomizer, but it's like with a lot of other randomizers that are out there, it's fundamentally the same game. You know, when you do things over and over again. This completely changes what we're doing.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if I'm going to get to play in this tournament, but I love that these are the tournament flags, and I can't wait to test them a little bit more and just see where they go. So thanks for having me tonight, and I hope it was a good race for everyone to watch.
Yep, GG's once again to Firebird Lover, finishing on the restream. Thanks so much. Again, one last shout out to all the members of the community who was putting up a fantastic race for us tonight. Firebird Lover, Judge Joe, E-Ninja, and Hush Pyramid, of course. Last shout out to all the folks behind the scenes, of course, and Jade, my co-commentator, Dubword for the tracking, and of course Escrunt for the restream. Let's see, I believe we need to plug, I don't know if there's anyone else that we're going to send everyone to, so we're just gonna call it for the night. But we do want to remind everyone that Pink Puff League is going to be this Thursday. It's going to be, I think, 8 o'clock Eastern on this channel. Make sure you're here. There's K unsafe flags in this one for the Pink Puffs, so make sure you tune in for that as well.
Right. The last time Pink Puff League dealt with that, we had Odin at Ogopogo gaining the underground access. So hopefully we get more fun times like that.
Yeah, fun. Sure. We'll go with that. But that's going to do it for all of us here at Final Fantasy IV Free Enterprise. Thanks, everyone, and we'll see you at the next race. Take care.